2023 is dawning, and men are weaker than they have ever been in all of human history. Increased rates of suicide, low testosterone, and depression are just a few of the symptoms this plague of weakness has introduced to our society. If you just simply look around you, the average dude walking around in your local Walmart clearly displays just how far the average 21st century man has fallen in terms of raw power and masculinity. What or who is to blame for this? Well, to answer this question, I'm going to allow my colleague, Mr. Lapino, to set the stage and tell you all a little story he knows. The memoir of a man named Ben. A deep and compelling narrative outlining the current plight of the average man. Mr. Lapino, take it away, brother. You see, I know this guy, this dude, this interesting character named Benjamin Benji Ben Julio. Benny Boy here is one weak-ass, lazy, undisciplined motherfucker. Junk food, cheap entertainment, sexual indulgence, and excessive social media consumption have all become a staple in his life. On an average day in Mr. Benson's life, after waking up at 1:30 in the afternoon, of course, he grabs the phone on his nightstand and scrolls on shit talk for 30 whole minutes, but not before loading up the boob tube, whipping out his knick-knack, and feeding the dragon. He then will, apathetically, crawl his way to the kitchen and eat 3 bowls of some sort of sugary cereal completely devoid of any nutrition or actual substance. Then he'll go and watch the latest episode of Family Guy or Rick and Morty or whatever the fuck the children are watching these days, and smoke some weed while doing so. By the time he is done his daily TV binge and 4:30 in the afternoon rolls around, he'll proceed to slowly get ready for a 6-hour shift at his local Domino's, where he works 6 days a week cutting pizza for minimum wage. This work isn't necessarily fulfilling for Benjamin, and he doesn't really get along with his co-workers, but he's got rent to pay, and cutting stuffed crust pepperoni pizzas for a few hours doesn't take a lot of effort, so for him it fits the bill. This job provides the illusion of security and comfort, so he's okay with squandering his fulfillment and potential for it. He's willing to sacrifice 35 hours a week to a job he fucking hates just for a measly $400. Shocking. After clocking out, he'll get home at, let's say, 11:45 p.m., but not before slugging down 2 Whoppers and a large fry from a Burger King not far from his shitty apartment. Walking inside his front door, he's greeted by the sight of debris, clothes, and wrappers all over the shaggy carpet of his living room. It's occurred to him in the past that he should probably clean up his place, but he has no motivation or incentive to do so. It's not like he has friends to hang out with or cute chicks to invite over. It's just easier to sit on the couch and light up some weed instead. He'll smoke a blunt and play some Skyrim or Minecraft or something before pleasuring his shaft of delight one last time and finally falling asleep at 4 in the morning, and then doing it all over again. That's it. That's the story. Master Andrew, what else do you want me to do? I'm feeling a bit awkward up here. So the account you just heard of the life of Benjamin is an extremely depressing story. Sadly though, the life of Benjamin is a story that a lot of men can actually relate to. The society we live in is structured in a way that makes it so easy to get by with the bare minimum. The bare minimum in terms of food quality, effort to complete tasks, and in our relationships. Ben and men like him don't even question if they have any sort of potential beyond these things. They just mindlessly consume day in and day out because it simply feels good. Ben is an archetype for the average 21st century man. The 21st century man is not just physically weak, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually weak as well. We live in a world where weakness and fragility are the norm. We are born into a society where men are encouraged to be docile and they are praised for being fragile. I'm pissed off and I am angry, and frankly, you should be too. I'm sick of the gluttony, weakness, and degeneracy that has infected the minds of our young men. I'm tired of how delicate and frail the modern man has become. Year after year, 21st century men devolve deeper and deeper and deeper into a soft, limp ball of goop. I'm surrounded by men like Benjamin who choose instant gratification over hard work and well-earned achievement. Individuals who choose comfort over excellence. Everywhere I go, I look around and I see so much potential just simply squandered. I see men who I should be able to look upon for inspiration. Men who I should be able to call brother, but I cannot. For they are not worthy of my respect, my admiration, or my companionship. For they have sold their souls to the god of pleasure, the demon of indulgence, trading their potential for comfort and their raw masculinity for complacency. I have lost my family. I have lost my brothers. While it is true that the modern man is more feeble than he has ever been, it's not necessarily his fault. Ever since we were boys, we were raised in a mommy culture that told us to be feeling. We were told to be a bunch of pussies who were in touch and in tune with our emotions. We were told to allow our emotions to rule our minds and dictate our actions. This is not to say that emotions don't have a purpose or that your emotional experience is not valid. Emotions are there, they are present, and they do have an expressed purpose. They are the communicative data between body and brain, the mediary between the logical mind and the animalistic vessel in which we inhabit. You are meant to experience these things, but not to let them control you. As a man, you cannot allow your actions to be dictated by your emotions.
Masculine men have a duty to provide and protect those they care about. We have a duty to do things we don't feel like doing because we know we're supposed to do them. A traditionally masculine man does things he doesn't feel like doing because it is his duty to do them. He charges into the building because it is his duty, not because he feels like it, because it is his duty. We're now teaching the new generation of men that they don't have duty and they can just act on their feelings and act how they feel, and they don't have to act as a man should. And the dangerous thing about overly emotional men is that they're dangerous. They're genuinely dangerous. This is what's crazy. Do you know what happens when you get men who just act how they feel? You get school shooters, you get violence, you get rapists. Men who do not control their emotions are dangerous. If you find a man who is stoic, he's not gonna hurt people. He's gonna sit and think about his actions very carefully, and he's gonna be a good man who protects and provides for his family. You find a man who just acts out on impulse and does whatever he feels like, you're gonna find a dangerous man. Sitting here telling men to cry more and act with their feelings and it's okay to feel this way, that way, etc., and have no self-control. That is why we have the problems we have in the world. Absolutely and utterly wrong. So when they talk about toxic masculinity, they have it completely inversed on its head, completely and utterly wrong. We need to be teaching stoicism. We need to be teaching young men to understand that the world is very, very difficult. It's hard to be a man. You're gonna feel bad sometimes. You just suck it up and perform anyway.
We have things to do, lands to conquer, cities to build, families to provide for. And if we do not take up our responsibility and do these things, society as we know it is at risk of complete collapse. You must take your emotions, set them aside, and allow your logic, your reason, your acquired knowledge, and your experience to dictate your actions and control the trajectory of your life. But the modern mommy culture that we live in has not told young men this. There is no talk of greatness. There is no talk of challenge and achievement. No talk of conquering our own primal nature and becoming the best men we can possibly be. The current matriarchy in which we reside has conditioned its young men to act based on how they feel. It has taught them to seek comfort instead of challenge. As young men, we know this is truly false at its core. As enticing as comfort and emotional living is, this way of life will leave us completely and utterly dissatisfied. What us young men truly crave at our core of being is challenge. We thrive on solving problems. We grow stronger from overcoming trials. But with the current entrees of emotional delight and easeful living that we are offered, we are left malnourished and lacking of what our developing masculine psyche truly needs. Is it my comrades' fault that they have lost their masculine essence to society's garbage buffet? Is it of his own accord that the modern man has been conditioned from the previously powerful, energized, and hungry wolf into the fat, apathetic, and compliant house pet he is today? This is a manifestation of the deeply rotten core of our society, a symptom of our corrupt political systems, our amoral, disreputable media, and our broken families. My heart cries out in pain for all the lonely boys out there that haven't had a father in their life. Our society lacks good-hearted men and strong father figures. We have homes that are absent of the divine expression of power that masculine energy provides. How are our boys supposed to grow and develop into strong, confident, and powerful men if they have no example for what a man is in the first place? How are our young men supposed to mature into their own masculine divinity if they are deprived of the one thing that would help them flourish into the men they were meant to be? These are extremely important questions that need answering. So, what is the solution? What are we to do about this epidemic of weakness that is infecting the minds of our young men? And I say epidemic because this is truly a mental disease. The definition of disease literally means dis-ease, a lack of order, a disruption in the natural functioning of an organism. What must be done to purge the parasite that is causing our men to stay docile and frail? Well, what we must do is to take personal responsibility for the low state that we have fallen to. We must look ourselves in the mirror, identify our shortcomings, and eradicate them indefinitely. We must purge our weaknesses, remove our flaws, cure our defects. We must burst through our limitations. Maybe it's not our fault for the conditioning that was placed upon us when we were young. It was not our choice to be born into this society, nor was it our choosing to have our innate masculinity degraded as we were growing into it. But now it is our choice. With the power that our conscious presence provides, we can shift the current trajectory of society and point it towards whatever direction it is that we choose. This power is possessed by us. This power resides with the people. This power lies with men. Shall we choose to continue on this path and indulge in empty pleasures and meaningless frivolities until the end of time, to our own demise? Or will we as men stand up and say no? No to the weakness, no to the comfort, no to the instantly gratifying pleasures that society tries to entice us with. Will you simply roll over and accept this fate, or will you stand strong? Stare directly into the eyes of those who would wish you to be weak and confidently but simply say, no, we were meant for more than this. The choice is yours, brother. Accept modernity or dare to reject it. Boom, boom. Gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you already know what time it is. Go hit the like button, click subscribe, and kiss your mother good morning. I told you to do it. Go do it now. Seriously though, this video was really fun to make. Hitting that like button is an extremely immense help to my channel. So if you do like it, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you are a young man looking to build a strong body and an even stronger mind, I would definitely recommend that you subscribe to the channel. I post regular videos about all things pertaining to your fitness, mindset, and motivation. That is all for today, my boys. So I will see you in the next video. Peace.